Did you know that there's a creature out there that's been around since before the dinosaurs? Well, meet the chambered nautilus, the only living member of a group of extinct animals called nautiloids. And today, we're going to dive deep into this mysterious sea dweller and uncover its secrets. So let's get started. First up, we have to talk about the chambered nautilus. It's not just an ordinary snail. It's a true marvel of nature. The nautilus lives in a shell that's been around for more than 500 million years. That's right, 500 million years. And to put that into perspective, the dinosaurs didn't show up until around 230 million years ago. That means the nautilus has been around for more than twice as long as the dinosaurs. But that's not all. This amazing creature has survived more than one mass extinction on Earth. In fact, it was around during the Ordovician mass extinction, which wiped out an estimated 85% of all marine species. It also made it through the late Devonian mass extinction, which saw the disappearance of around 75% of all species on Earth. But the nautilus just kept swimming along, adapting and evolving along the way. It's no wonder it's considered a living fossil. Speaking of fossils, the nautilus's shell is so beautifully preserved in time that paleontologists can tell exactly what species a fossil belonged to based on its shell alone. These creatures really are like living pieces of history. But wait, there's more. The nautilus's shell is not just a simple spiral. Oh no, it's a golden ratio spiral. That's when the distance between each coil is approximately 1.618 times the previous one. This creates a perfect balance and harmony in the shell's shape. It's so beautiful and intricate that mathematicians and artists have been studying it for centuries. And it's no wonder why. The Fibonacci spiral is found all over in nature, from the arrangement of leaves on a stem to the shape of a galaxy. It's a universal pattern that reflects the underlying order of the universe. The chambered nautilus uses its shell as its home. It's more than just a house. It's a mobile fortress that protects the nautilus from predators. The shell is made up of many different chambers, and each one is filled with a gas called nitrogen. This makes the nautilus one of the only animals that can change its buoyancy at will. It can add or remove gas from its chambers to control how much it sinks or floats. This allows it to swim at any depth it wants. It's like having a built-in submarine, but without the fancy technology. And speaking of built-in submarines, let's take a closer look at the nautilus's tentacles. Nope, they aren't used for hugging trees. They are used for catching food. The nautilus has more than 90 small tentacles that are arranged in a ring around its mouth. Now, unlike its close relatives, the octopus, which has suction cups on its tentacles, the nautilus doesn't have any suckers. But don't think for a second that it's not deadly. Each tentacle tip has a sticky substance that can attach to prey and bring it to the mouth. Then, the nautilus uses its strong beak to eat its meal. And yes, the nautilus is a carnivore, meaning it eats other animals. Its diet consists of crabs, small fish, and carrion, which is dead and decaying animals. The nautilus isn't picky. It will eat pretty much anything that swims by. But wait, there's more. The nautilus is a master of disguise. It can change the color of its skin to match its surroundings. This allows it to sneak up on its prey or to blend in with its environment. Some nautiluses are even transparent, making them nearly invisible to predators and prey alike. Now, let's move on to another fascinating aspect of the nautilus, its eyes, or rather, lack thereof. That's right. The nautilus doesn't have any eyes. Well, not in the traditional sense anyway. It does have two small eye spots that can detect light and dark, but they can't form images or see shapes. This might seem like a disadvantage, but the nautilus has other senses that make up for it. For example, it has an incredible sense of smell. It uses this sense to find food and to avoid danger. The nautilus also has a great sense of touch. It can feel the movement of water around it, allowing it to sense the presence of nearby objects or animals. This is especially useful in the deep sea where the nautilus lives because there's no light to rely on. Instead, the nautilus uses its other senses to navigate and hunt. you might be wondering what life is like for a nautilus in the deep sea. And I'm here to tell you that it's not all sunshine and rainbows. In fact, it can be pretty dangerous. The deep sea is a dark and mysterious place where sunlight can't reach. But that's not the only challenge the Nautilus faces. The water pressure in the deep sea is immense. It can be over 1,000 times greater than the pressure we experience at sea level. But the Nautilus has adapted to these extreme conditions and developed a strong, flexible shell that can withstand the crushing pressure of the deep sea. And don't worry, it's not completely dark down there. There are some animals that produce light through bioluminescence, and the Nautilus can use this light to find food or to communicate with other nautiluses. Despite the challenges of living in the deep sea, the Nautilus has thrived for millions of years, and it continues to be a source of fascination for scientists and ocean lovers alike. You may be wondering how the chambered Nautilus came to be. Well, its story dates back to the early days of our planet. Scientists believe that the Nautilus's ancestors were small, soft-bodied creatures that lived in the shallow waters of the ocean. Over time, they evolved and developed a hard, protective shell. This allowed them to venture into deeper waters and explore new habitats. And that's how the Nautilus came to be. But life hasn't always been easy for the Nautilus. At one point, it went extinct, but it made a comeback during the Cambrian explosion, an event that saw a rapid diversification of life on Earth. Today, there are around 80 species of Nautilus, most of which are found in tropical and subtropical oceans. If you're thinking, wow, that sounds amazing, I want to see one, well, unfortunately, the Nautilus is not often seen by humans. That's because it lives at depths of 200–500 meters, where few people go. It's like the creature prefers to live in a secret underwater world, hidden from prying eyes. However, thanks to advances in technology, we've been able to learn more about the Nautilus and its amazing adaptations. Scientists have developed deep-sea submersibles that can reach the depths where the Nautilus lives, and they've used these submersibles to observe the Nautilus in its natural habitat. They've also used cameras and other tools to study the Nautilus's behavior, anatomy, and physiology. Thanks to their efforts, we've been able to learn more about the Nautilus than ever before. As for why we're still fascinated by the Nautilus, well, it's pretty simple. It's a creature that seems straight out of a science fiction movie. It's ancient, yet somehow still manages to thrive in the modern world. It's a master of adaptation and evolution, having survived for hundreds of millions of years. The Nautilus is truly a remarkable creature, and we're lucky to have it on our planet. Now we're going to take a closer look at how the chambered Nautilus fits into the grand scheme of things. First off, it's a member of a group of animals called cephalopods, which also includes squid, octopuses, and cuttlefish. But unlike its cephalopod cousins, the Nautilus has a hard external shell. In fact, it's the only living cephalopod with an external shell. All the others have either lost their shells or, like the octopus, never had one to begin with. And here's another fun fact. The chambered Nautilus is related to the extinct ammonites, which were some of the most diverse and abundant marine animals during the Mesozoic era. Ammonites were known for their large, flat shells, which are often found in fossil deposits. They lived in the same oceans as the dinosaurs and were a popular target for amateur and professional paleontologists alike. But despite their popularity, the ammonites eventually went extinct, likely due to the same event that wiped out the dinosaurs, the massive asteroid impact that led to the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event. So while the Nautilus shares a common ancestor with the ammonites, it managed to survive the mass extinction that wiped them out. This makes the Nautilus a truly unique and valuable part of our planet's biodiversity. Unfortunately, these fascinating creatures are currently listed as a threatened species. This means that they could be at risk of extinction if we don't take steps to protect them. One of the main threats to the Nautilus is habitat destruction. As humans continue to pollute and destroy the coral reefs and other marine ecosystems where nautiluses live, these creatures are losing their homes and food sources. Another threat is overfishing. In some parts of the world, nautiluses are caught in large numbers for their beautiful shells, which are used to make jewelry and other ornaments. This has led to a decline in their population in some areas. Thankfully, there are organizations working to protect the nautilus and its habitat. By supporting these organizations and making changes in our own lives, we can help ensure that this ancient creature continues to thrive for millions of years to come. The chambered nautilus is a true marvel of the natural world. Its ancient origins, remarkable adaptations, and beautiful shell make it a creature that has captured the human imagination for centuries. As we continue to learn more about this fascinating animal, we can appreciate the incredible diversity of life on our planet and the importance of protecting it for future generations. Well, that's all for now, but please stay tuned for more ocean adventures. Thanks for watching and see you next time.